On this day in history, 1946, the bikini swimsuit made its debut at a Paris fashion show. If only everyone knew where that was going to go. From TV commercials to Photoshop women on ATVs to selfies women Snapchat to dudes. And when a woman sends off a picture of her nearly naked body through the digital marvel known as the cell phone, what risk does she run? I'll put it this way. Piece of advice, guys. Women don't want a picture of your drunk. Try snapping a photo of your bank statement and then see where things go. Live from Wattpad Nation, you're watching The Corner Booth. This dog that is with me really wants to play. That's Elba. She's named after the female lead in The Time Traveler's Wife. I'm at my cousin's, and now that I threw the toy, yes, you're going to want me to throw it all the time, aren't you? That's great. So anyways, we're really, really, really happy to have you. Welcome to episode 16. I can't believe we're already here, guys. This is just crazy how fast everything's happened. This is called Inquire and Inspire, and the detail behind it is just kind of the beauty of Wattpad is that you can interact with writers, which ultimately perfects your craft. And we wanted to take an entire episode for the panel to share testimonies on what has moved them and how they've responded to those they've moved. And that being said, I want to introduce you to our fearless panel. We have Mr. Thomas Bonnick, Miss Sarah Benson, Miss Jennifer Corman, and Miss Brittany Charmantine. And this week, we're doing something really fun. Well, I think it's fun. For the high five, we are doing something called telephone, and this is exactly how it worked. Earlier in the week, I sent a message to Thomas, and it was just a single sentence. And now, without using any of my words, he had to then send a message to one of the other panelists, and that panelist had to send on their own kind of rendition of the message to the next one, and so forth. And on this broadcast, I have no idea what they've written, but Jennifer Corman was the last person on this chain of telephone, and she is actually going to guess live on the air what I originally sent, and we'll see how close it was. So, Mr. Thomas Bonnick, if you will share with Wattpad Nation what you sent to your message received. I don't know what it is.
Do I need to share what I received from you?
No, because then Jennifer will know what I sent.
So share what you received.
Only share what you sent.
He gazed at the eating house with intent to attract an old flame.
And who did you send that to, Thomas?
I sent it to Sarah.
All right, Sarah, what did you send to Miss Brittany?
Oh, goodness, I don't have it pulled up. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, no, you're fine.
Not good. I think you're going to have to skip me and just go on.
Does Brittany have it?
Hey, Brittany, do you remember what Sarah sent you?
What she sent me. Yes, let me...
I might have sent this. I think my sister said how to do this. So.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
I'm not ready either. Don't feel bad.
Okay.
I'm already going, oh no.
Pulling it up. She sent me...
I might have said what Thomas did, or something similar. I don't know.
She sent me this. I'm ready. He gazed at the eating house with intent to attract an old flame.
So
that's what Sarah sent to me.
So, Sarah, you copied and pasted what Thomas wrote?
Well, I'm supposed to copy. I misread it. Sorry.
That's so cheating. If I wanted to just give that message to Brittany, I would have sent it to myself. All right. Okay. So, anyways, Brittany, what
I got.
What did you send?
At least she changed it. Hopefully, she did better than me.
I did. I changed it. So let me see. Jennifer.
Say it slow.
I will. Okay, I sent, the man looked inside a restaurant hoping he'd see his ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
Now you got to realize, Jennifer, this has been contorted twice. Well, it should have been contorted 3 times, but somebody didn't pay attention to the rules.
Okay.
Vacation mode.
She's still in vacation mode. Yeah.
Vacation mode.
Her brain's still in Belize.
That's a tough one. So it's telephone game.
Not vacation. 4th of July.
Yes, Wattpad Nation, we do hope that you had a wonderful, wonderful 4th of July.
Oh.
Happy Independence Day for those of you who are in America, if you're an international watcher, I'm sure that you know that we get crazy on the 4th of July, and there are like red, white, and blue Jello shots, and a lot of bad decisions are made on the 4th of July. But Miss Jennifer Corman, what do you think?
Okay, so the man walked past a bar and wished he'd spot his ex-girlfriend.
Ooh, that's really close.
You
Good
did?
job. Okay, so the original message with this: a man looked across the restaurant, hoping to get the attention of the woman he loved or once loved. So, good job, panel. Good job.
That was a hard one.
I'm very impressed. It's good to know that you all are writers. One of you are a plagiarizer, but you know we're not going to get into that. And it's always like the statistic: one person's got to plagiarize. I do want to say hello to everybody who's watching live: Louise McCafferty, Carl O'Connor, Layla Adams, Lisa. I'm sorry, I still can't say your last name. I'm going to say that it's Adil. Man. And Miss Kelly Ann Blount is also watching as well. Hello. Thank you so much for playing on our thread. And at any time, if you would like to tweet at us, you can use our hashtag TCBWatt. And we actually will get them in real time during the broadcast. Or if you're watching this a little bit later, like tomorrow or next week or next month or whenever you can find time, you can always use our hashtag, and we do get back to them. We also have a thread on the forums at wattpad.com called The Corner Booth, and I know that Rita and Sarah and pretty much everybody plays on that thread, so wherever you are, you can find us. I do want to get now to Thomas, calm down, man, calm down. Like, what are you doing, man? Thomas is slamming stuff over down there in Canada, crazy.
I go to my room.
Yeah, seriously, you're an angry Canadian or something. I don't know what's going on with you. But we are added to the part of the broadcast called, I don't know. He's going to be polite about it. That's the good thing. We're to the part of the broadcast called Cream or Sugar. It's my favorite part of the broadcast, and this is why. It's about the Wattpadders who are the cream, who have risen to the surface and just blown our socks off, or it's already somebody who's fairly established, and we just want to give them a little bit of sugar. And this week I'm going to start with Miss Brittany Charmentine. Who do you got for us?
Okay, so this week I am shouting out, actually, it's ultimately going to be 10 stories, but 5 are up right now. And they are all our fellow Wattpadders that are participating in the Gallows Movie Short Story Contest. So if you go on Wattpad to the Gallows Movie profile, and click on Creepy Short Stories, you'll find right now the 5 stories that are up, and then there are going to be more, and I'm apparently not allowed to say who they are, but they're people that you know and love, so make sure you keep checking back to find their stories. The few that I've read that I'm going to shout out specifically right now are Monrosie has written one called Linger. And here's a little synopsis, and these were actually written by Jessica Fry, so that's why they're good.
We love Jessica Fry.
I know we do. So, the scent of roses, unexplained phenomenon, a chance to start over, cold spots and spirits. Chloe has to distinguish between reality and legend before it's too late.
Wow.
The next one is by Brink1314. And this one says, a murder-suicide, teenagers, an all-night hazing ritual that may get too real for comfort. The thing is that one of the newest students may have just as many secrets as the legend itself. And the last one that I'm going to shout out is by our own Rita Kovac. And it is an outcast student, Halloween, a prank that has far more going on than what it appears, and more trouble than what Grace knows what to deal with. So I highly recommend you check out all those stories, and I'm super excited that so many of my lovely friends are in the contest.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome, Brittany. Can you tweet that out, and I'll give it a retweet,
Sure.
and we'll put our hashtag on it and everything
Yeah.
like that, just so we can give them the exposure. Miss
Absolutely.
Jennifer Corman, who do you got for this week?
I have a story by Toby Litt called Laundorama. I don't know if any of you have run across that, but it is one of the best short stories I've read on Wattpad. It is a creepy story, but it does not strike you as a creepy story when you start reading. Incredibly well written and well conceived, and he is I'm assuming although Toby could go either way, very, very good writer, and it is well worth reading. It's got a knock your socks off ending. I hope that if he's not already published, he's published soon, because it is one of the best things I have ever read on the site. So, wow, it's really good.
That's awesome. That's got to be some of the best reviewing right there. Wow.
Yeah, wow. It blew me away. I wasn't expecting that kind of writing, because when you're reading it, it just doesn't seem like it's going to be that kind of story. But it's kind of a ghost story. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I remember I was reading this book. It was called The Power of Rest, and I was just like, man, this is really good writing.
What a random collection of essays. Whoa.
It was awesome. And by the way, that is Jennifer Corman's Waddy Award-winning book, and it is ridiculously good. And wow. Miss Sarah Benson, what do you got for us?
I have at Adeline Ann with The Prince's Guide to True Love's Kiss. This is just a really fun, light read. It's a story of Prince Benedict, and he's charged with finding true love with true love's kiss by his 18th birthday in order to take over his kingdom. And, no pressure, right? I mean, it's like, we're all ready to take on the world by then. But if you look in history, there is a lot of evidence of young marriages, and I don't even know how these young people had to do that. But anyway, she takes a really fun approach here. So, in this kingdom, every princess has fallen under the curse of eternal slumber. So, all he has to do is find a princess to wake her up, right? No problem. Well, he's not too successful in the kissing department. Those results, and now he's going after lucky number 15. So, and then to add to the complexity of the situation, he's traveling with a band of mercenaries to go after saving Princess 15, and they have a beautiful and distracting captain as part of their group. So I totally love this story. It's such a clever premise, such a fun idea, and I totally felt for Benedict. I totally laughed at the chemistry between these characters, and it's just a great, fun, light read. If you're in the mood for something like that, check out Adeline Ann. She's also just a fantastic Wattpadder in person as well.
Great. We'll definitely have to check her out. Mr. Thomas Bonnick, who do you got for us?
Okay, well, I want to give a few quick shout-outs to a few people here. I'm going to do it in two parts. The first one is Alina, at ALINA-KG. She has 3 published works, and the one I'm going to feature is Thoughts and Snippets. And poem number 1, these are poems by the way, is I Am. The second one is We Are. They're both gracefully and wonderfully written, and they feel very honest, and I would highly recommend you take a quick glance at these two. The second one I want to talk about is Grapher, Grapher. She has 24 published work, and the book I want to feature is Freefall, and stories are Vigilance and The Color of the End. The Color of the End. I mean, with a topic like that, you just have to read it, right? She writes with such grace and great honesty, and again, I would like for you to check out her work. I want to send out 3 quick shout-outs to 3 people. I won't mention their books, but just they're great supporters of the Corner Booth, and they're just great people in general. And that would be Michelle J. Quinn, and Silverdome, that's Silver, I think it's DOE, I hope I got it right. And the third one is Sprinklin, I'm going to spell it out, KLING_DEWS. These are great supporters of the Corner Booth, and I think you should check out their work also. These are my
Yes,
shout-outs.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Thomas, and they are amazing supporters of this project.
Yes.
Every single one of them, and they've been so vocal and just really, really wonderful with everything that they do. Whether it's communicating with us during a live broadcast, or even sending us or retweeting whatever we have to do with the episodes that are upcoming and things like that. It's pretty amazing. Looks like Rita and Millie are both in the live chat now. So hello, ladies, and Carl O'Connor, he's just like around a bunch of women. That'd be pretty awesome, huh, buddy? Tom McNicky, what's up? How are you? We just really want to say thank you so much for keeping on coming back. I guess we're doing something right and making this entertaining for you in some way, shape, or form. I do want to conclude this portion of the broadcast by telling you that you can win a Wattpad mug. Very, very easily. I'm about to do a drawing from last week. Last week I said if you left any message on our video, whether it was during the live broadcast or even afterwards, your name would go into a hat. And there is actually an app called Names in a Hat. And so I will be selecting one of those names to get a Wattpad mug. But I do want to tell you how you can win one this week. And it's very, very simple. All you have to do is at the bottom of this video during a live broadcast, or if you're watching this as a recording, you can just put it in the comment section down below. Tell us your cream or sugar shout-outs. People who have either come out of nowhere and surprised the socks off of you, or somebody that you just deeply, deeply respect that might have tens of thousands of followers, and it's just an amazing Wattpadder in general. We'd love to hear it. Anytime that you put one of those shout-outs on this video, it will be an entry into the hat. And so, like I said, this is a shake device to draw name. This is the first time that I've used this, so yeah. Guillaume Angeneux, if you would please send me your information, your mailing address. I think that we talked and you were in France, so you can either do it through a private message on Wattpad or a private message on Twitter. Or you don't have to do it a private message if you want people to know where you live. I mean, you can just put it on my wall. But congratulations. Let me know. We will get you a Wattpad mug. And that brings us over to the part of the broadcast we call the entree. And it's the meat of the discussion. And like I said, this episode is called Inquire, Inspire. And it's because a lot of the times, especially when you're on Wattpad, the best thing in the world that you can do is ask questions. Something that you learn in kindergarten is the stupidest question is the one unasked. So then it's amazing how those kind of questions start becoming inspiration. And just through either conversing with, like let's say that you're reading a book called Mermaids and the Vampires Who Love Them, and you leave a message from Miss Brittany Charmatine, and you're just like, how did you do this? How did you even get here? And more often than not, I would say within 24 hours, she will get back to you and tell you exactly what it is. And she's just, how can I put this? When I first started conversing with Brittany, I knew that I would immediately like her because she's so funny and the way that she answers things, and it's a lighthearted kind of thing. And not only that, but she's ridiculously smart, and so it does help, at least getting me to realize that the caliber of writing that's on Wattpad is so incredible, to the point where, man, I don't even have to buy books anymore. I can just go on Wattpad. I mean, I do, but it's just kind of, you see the fact that I think the reason why it is so addictive, especially for people who love to read, it's because of that interaction facet, and it's because you can talk to the person who wrote these words that you're reading. And I think, to me, that's an amazing, amazing gift. And so I want to start with our questions for this week. I want you, the panel, actually, if you would tell us about a Wattpadder who has inspired you. How did he or she do this? And why did this leave such a big impression? And I'm actually going to start with our special guest, Miss Jennifer Corman.
Okay, well, I was not able to narrow it down to one person. I had to go with two. And there are so many people who have inspired me. Nat, you inspired me, and you still inspire me. But I chose two people who are kind with their support of my writing, but also kind with their support of me personally. And one of the things that I like the best about Wattpad is it's not just about writing, it's not just about, you know, critiquing other people's work, it's really about supporting your growth as a person and as a writer. And C. Thomas Howell, Jason, and also Robin Bradley were two people who really changed my life in a lot of ways. You always have areas where you need to grow, right? Everybody does. Jason, his personality taught me a lot about just having confidence and being able to express myself, who I am as a writer, and just feeling okay with that. And Robin Bradley, she is probably my polar opposite in terms of personality, because she has a lot of confidence, and she gave me everything from career advice to writing advice. I mean, she told me whether or not I should, you know, she was giving me advice about going to MFA programs, if I did go, if I didn't go, what to look for. She was giving me advice about finding copywriting jobs. In addition to writing advice, I met her through the Margaret Atwood contest. And she is such a generous soul that she didn't care, you know, that we were both in a contest together. She was like, whatever, you know. She didn't care who wins. And Jason has kind of got the same attitude. It's really about being part of a community and sort of lifting each other up, and seeing what each of your strengths are. And so if Jason, for example, thought that I didn't realize what one of my strengths were, he made sure I knew, and made sure that he wasn't just giving me some kind of empty compliment. And I really appreciate that. That's really a true friend. So both of them changed the way I write. And Robin got me some jobs. So there have been many people on Wattpad, but they're just both really good examples. So.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, forget Craigslist. Who needs that? Just hop on Wattpad. You can find it.
No kidding. I know. There's some generous people on here.
Mr. Thomas Bonnick, what do you got for us?
Oh man, what do I have here? Over the last year or so, I met so many great people here. Very, very difficult to narrow it down to one. Wattpad doesn't feel like the regular social media anymore. Meet these people, you get to know them, and you get so relaxed, so comfortable, right? It feels like home. One person I have to highlight would be Mary. Mary from this program here. I can't give a specific, well, actually, I can give a few. I think she mentioned my name as one of her shout-outs some time ago, but that's what was not the most important thing to me. The simple fact that she took time to read my stuff and left complimentary comments meant a lot to me. Those words were very encouraging. They were very encouraging because we know Mary. We know she's super smart, right? And if she says what you're doing is cool, then it is cool. It's also super cool, right? And I got inspiration from that. And I have to say Mary would be top of my list where that is concerned.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Miss Sarah Benson.
Well, just like the others, the first thought that came to mind is, how do you narrow it down to one person?
It's like picking your favorite child, Sarah. We all know that you do that, right?
I did do it. But, all of you people, the corner booth people, have been so amazing and inspirational to me. And also all the members of the Wattpad class of 2014, and just so many other people on Wattpad. It's like Thomas said. It's not your normal social media. You can develop. There's something about sharing your writing that creates this intimacy that you don't get in any other place. And you're kind of putting yourself out there in a much more profound way than just a little picture or something like that. And so when you do that, it's scary. It was scary for me. I was terrified to do this. Put it out there, and you know, imagining. I've got a great imagination of what everyone could possibly say to make me feel like this big, but that didn't happen, thankfully. So the person I chose, I think she is just an example of the best of Wattpad. And so I thought through all of the names, and the one that stood out to me was at Jessica B. Fry. And I'm not sure who started reading each other's work first. We discovered each other very early on, both of our Wattpad experiences. She is an absolutely brilliant writer. And so when she first started reading my book, I checked her out, and I was like, oh, I was a little intimidated to have her read my stuff. I was like, oh, I don't know about this, but she was wonderful. I mean, and it's just like the mark of a cool person when they come in and they can see what's special about your work, and they can see what you were trying to do, and they bring it out and they say something. Kind of like you were saying, Thomas, with Mary, who's so wonderful at this as well. And so she made some suggestions, and that were really spot on and actually improved my story. And then we kind of became friends over time. When I announced that I was going to publish my book, she just offered to help, said she would, like, on all these different ways, and I was just floored by that. You know, that generosity, like you were talking about, Jennifer, just how generous when, you know, beyond Wattpad, she didn't even know me, but yet she was willing to put herself out there for me. And so I was just so impressed by her willingness to serve. And it's not just me. I know there's a lot of people on Wattpad who love Jess because she's contributed so much to the community. She, with her breathtaking contest that she did, and also her work with the Wattpad class of 2014, she throws an amazing dinner party. And it's been my privilege to work with her on a regular basis, and I can tell you now that I know her even that much better, she is just as lovely off Wattpad as on. And so in terms of writing, I am inspired by her prolific ability to manage multiple stories and put them out there, and I would highly recommend you check those out because she has quite a number of stories on her profile. Some of my favorites are Too Raw, and she's doing a fun appreciation event around that.
Oh no, she didn't freeze, did she?
On Amazon.
I think she did. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Oh. Okay. All right. We didn't lose you. We didn't lose you.
Okay. And anyway, so that's the person I chose, was Jessica B. Fry, just for her generosity, her kindness, and her awesome, all-around awesomeness.
Yes, we do love some Jessica B. Fry. She actually does a webcast on YouTube. You can look her up just using her Wattpad moniker. She actually reviews a lot of books, and she talks about writing process and everything like that. You get to meet her cats, Thor and Loki. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Miss Brittany Charmington, who do you got for us?
Okay, so Jessica was actually one of my finalists as well, but I won't go on and on about her. But I have a couple of people, 3 people actually, that I brainstorm with that have just had huge influence on my work on the first book and then on the second book as well that I'm working on. And so Jessica is one of those. Rita is another one. And Somewhat Distracted is another one. Those are all 3 just amazing people that have been so supportive and inspirational to me. One thing I think that at some point Sarah's going to talk about forming other groups of people, writers, to support one another, because the Wattpad class of 2014 is one group I'm in, and I'm in another group called the Wattpad Retirement Home for aged Wattpadders
Awesome.
over
You do not
30.
even qualify for that. Give me a
It's
break.
people over 30.
So Don, that's a retirement home now?
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't qualify. Sorry, Nat. Anyway, so there's one other person who I want to mention, and it's because he's my first friend on Wattpad. When I joined a little over a year ago, his name is T.L. Dorian. He has an anthology of short stories called Setting Suns. And when I first went on the site, I was into sci-fi. I had a sci-fi short story. And so I was checking out the other sci-fi works, and I saw his, and I just started, writing to him, writing comments on his stories, and he wrote back to me, and we PM'd one another, and he answered like every stupid question I had, but he never acted like I was an idiot, even though I was. He was just incredibly helpful and welcoming and warm and supportive. And I remember the first time he wrote to me and said, "You're ranking. Your story is at number 768 or whatever it was." And I was like, "What's ranking? What does that mean?" So he explained that to me. But here's another inside information here, which is that Mermaids and the Vampires Who Loved Them would not exist if not for him. Because it came into existence as a joke between the two of us in a private message that I should just write this story about mermaids and vampires. But I said it in a joking way, and then it ended up actually being a real book. So check out his work. He's a great sci-fi writer, great guy. I actually met him at LondCon in London, and that was totally awesome. And he is an incredible inspiration to me.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Rennie. And I just wanted to, let everybody know that the reason why we're doing this is because it gives just that further kind of of if you want to succeed with your writing, you've got to connect with people, and Wattpad is the avenue to do that. And it's kind of like with any industry. I was in restaurants for a really, really, really long time. I worked for a small company called Chili's, and it's kind of the point where everybody will always tell you it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's not necessarily what you write or what genre you fall into, but it's definitely who you pick up along the way. And I mean, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd, and so I mean, think about that quest. I mean, it was definitely not done alone. And if you think of your writing journey the same kind of way, hey, off to Mordor and back again kind of deal. So I'm hoping that some of these little testimonies that the panel are sharing with you, that they inspire you to do the same for someone else, because you have no idea what it means to these people on Wattpad. I remember when I came on the site, I was in a dark place, and if it wasn't for the people that I was so fortunate in coming across. I mean, well, first of all, the corner booth wouldn't exist because I wouldn't have had the idea. But the people that I've come across on Wattpad, they're the ones who make this whole thing. I don't even know what you call this, what we're doing. I call it a project because it's definitely one that's in the works. But it's all a testament to them, and this is what they did. They made this. It really has nothing to do with me. Question number 2. Tell us about a Wattpadder whom you have moved. How did they communicate this? What did you do exactly for him or her? And how did this change you? Miss Jennifer.
This is a hard question for me because it's emotional. You know that I write about like every wart in my life possible. And some of the first things that I put up on Wattpad were about the death of my sister by suicide, which is a tough subject. Got me already. But the number of people that I had write to me and say, I can't tell you the number of times I've thought about that. Thank you for writing this. I wrote that as a way to honor my sister, because I think a lot of times people think people who commit suicide are somehow weak or defective or something. And I wanted a way to give people hope, and it's been 20 years. So, but I had a lot of people reach out and say that was helpful, and that blew me away. And then also, when I lost my mother, that was very difficult as well. And I had people write and share with me that not only were they struggling with losing their parents, but that they were angry, because you have on one hand grief, and on the other hand this anger that you're spending all this time in the hospital and you're away from your children. And I would immediately message these people back and say, time out. You know, they were like, oh, we hope we can handle losing our parents with the same grace you had. And I was like, wait a minute, I wrote that piece about my mom at least a year after she passed away, and I was plenty angry. I was a hot mess. You know, it was like that grace, you know, didn't come right away. And it's so the readers that I helped me back, because they validated for me the way that I felt and the process that I went through, you know. I don't remember who said, just meeting a friend, whether it's a stranger or not, and knowing that you're not alone, you know, that whatever you're feeling, whatever darkness it is, there's someone out there too. So it motivated me to keep writing even when it was ugly, and it's been good. So
That's great. Well, thank you for sharing it with. I know that's tough.
yeah.
Jennifer's writing, in specifically, no matter what you read of hers, I've read several of her vignettes and short stories, and I read her entry to the Margaret Atwood contest, and this was all a while back. But it kind of pulls at different emotions all together, and sometimes it seems like it's paradoxical, and sometimes it seems like it's almost wrong, but it's right, and it's a very confusing kind of a reading experience at first, and then you just kind of fall into it. And I've never told Jennifer this. This will be the first time that she's heard this. But there's a song by a band. It's called Dashboard Confessional, and it's a song called Vindicated. And it was actually on the Spider-Man 2 soundtrack, the series with Tobey Maguire. And but it's an amazing kind of amalgam of, you know, just contrasting emotions all at once. I mean, the chorus it's vindicated, I'm selfish, I'm wrong, I'm right, I swear I'm right, I swear I knew it all along. I mean, it's a lot of just inner kind of struggle. And Jennifer's writing does that so well, and I just love you to death, Jennifer. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Mr. Thomas Bonnick, what do you got for us?
Oh, me. It's me again, right? I've had people knocking on my door, my mailbox door, for information as to how to get started on Wattpad, to bullying, just a wide range of stuff. A lot of my poems has to do with life in general. Maybe about bullying, maybe about someone's past, police brutality. Maybe it's just life in general, and for some reason it attracts a certain set of people. The lighter ones that I write is just to not be dubbed the guy with the dark stories. I intentionally write those lighter ones to not be that guy, you know. And I have so many young kids coming to me just asking me about, if it's not bully-related stuff, it's suicidal-related stuff. And sometimes I have to consult, I have to knock on Google's door to find answer, you know, to get back to these people. So I've helped those people along with those just trying to get onto Wattpad. How do I get started? I'll advise people. A lot of these kids, again, they've just got a name, right? And they'll just follow a million people. And I'll tell them, you don't do that. You have to start with a profile, tell someone about you, blah, blah, blah. You know, just get something about yourself, not too much. Just be comfortable, whatever you're getting out there, but something, put something out there. So that's the way I help. I try to help that way. And I guess it's because, like I said, a lot of my pieces are attracting a certain genre. And that's how I give back.
Yes, and I love the way that you put that, give back, because, I mean, it's getting on the site in the first place, it's giving you so much, and at the time, you know, when I registered for Wattpad, I had no idea what I was getting myself into ultimately. And I'm sure that you all have the same kind of experience when you are trying to think, what would be a cool Wattpad moniker? When you're just in that kind of process, and then you just don't realize the headspace that you find. There's such amazing pieces of work on it that give you just a ridiculous amount of clarity in your own writing. And you start seeing right off the bat the passion that fuels some of these Wattpadders. And it's just really, really amazing to see firsthand. Miss Sarah Benson, what do you got for us?
Well, like Thomas, I have been privileged to have a lot of young people come on to my, just ask me a lot of questions over the time. So think I contributed in that way. But in terms of like one of the most moving messages I ever got on my message board was from a cute little girl from Syria, and she told me that she used to think that people over here in America hated them until she heard my story, and that changed her mind. And I'm probably going to get emotional over this. Expect that, but I hear this all the time. I'm tired of going on Twitter or on Facebook or wherever, and hearing the stereotypes and you know, all Muslims are terrorists, or you know, just these bashing that happens online back and forth. And so I don't know. There was something that was just so validating about getting this cute little comment, and it was worth writing the story just to hear that. There's something about direct communication that tears down the mental walls that people build to divide us, and it's a privilege, I think, to put our writing out there and to connect with people all over the world and to show that that we are all one people on this planet, and all of the junk out there that people say and do to divide us, it can't stand. And the more we communicate, the more we become friends around the world, eventually those walls will all come down, and we will be a transformed people.
Thank you, Sarah. That's really, really beautifully said. You know, as Wattpadders, I mean, everybody who's watching this broadcast, they've either been on Wattpad for quite some time, or they might be brand new. They might have signed up yesterday. But wherever you are in your Wattpad tenure, whether you are playing around on a teenage thread, or if you're part of the Wattpad retirement home, I want to tell you that let's start writing some new stereotypes. Let's start, getting together as a community, and then when people say, "Oh, you're on Wattpad, you're those people that believe and love everything, and those people who interact and who are so supportive to each other." And I mean, stereotypes, they can be good things. They're not always negative connotations attached to them. So let's write some connotations, people. Miss Brittany Charpentine, what do you got for us?
No, I'm sorry, I'm not following that. That was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Thank you for putting me last. Okay, I had a really hard time with this because it just felt like I would come on and say, "Oh, I'm so inspiring to people." Because I kind of see the whole thing as a tapestry, and that all of us are threads on that tapestry that are woven together to make something beautiful. And so, yeah, maybe I've helped people here and there or inspired people, but it's all reciprocal. Like, they have all turned around and they've done that for me too. So it's, given that it's a very, very hard question to answer, one thing I want to say is that in relation to what Sarah just said, is one thing I get a kick out of on Wattpad is going to my stats and seeing where in the world people are reading my work.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty much everywhere except, I think, Antarctica and North Korea and a few other countries.
How can you be ignoring those countries? Like,
I know.
Those people want to read about mermaids and vampires.
Really? You should be reading my story. So, yeah, just to know that you are reaching out to people all over the world, and this form of communication is, I think it's going to make the world a better place. And as a future evil overlord of the earth, I really appreciate my message getting out there to a lot of people. Okay, so I had a couple examples. I had one reader a while back who left me a message, meant so much to me, and it was, "Thank you so much for cheering up the day of this person in assisted living. It really meant the world to me that she said that, and I just love her for it. As some of the other panelists have also said, I've had readers write to me and say that my writing has inspired them to stop self-injuring, what can I say? Like, when they say something like that to me, it really gives me so much more than I feel like I could ever give them. So I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you, Brittany. It's amazing, and I know. I'm trying to think of this from kind of like a journalistic standpoint now. I know that there are going to be a couple people that say that this episode is all about kind of bragging on yourself, but it's not that at all. You're missing the point if you think that's what this is. This is actually an episode that really just kind of gives this panel a way to convey their experiences and what they've actually had happen to them while being on Wattpad. And it's also hopefully a motivator for you as a writer, you as a Wattpadder, to start collecting these stories yourself, because I guarantee you there's no better feeling in the world than when you get a private message that just makes you question whether or not it's real, that it's happening, or whether it's somebody who was just in a really, really bad place at a specific moment and started reading the words that you just put on a page. Or if it's somebody who's trying to cope with loss or discrimination or just heartache, you can pull these people out of some pretty crazy depths and you can shove them to amazing heights. And there's something really, really great about that. And Brittany, I love the way that you put it, though. It's a tapestry. It's something that's supposed to be really, really beautiful, right? And I think that, Wattpad, they give us a pretty good party space to make something beautiful. Now, I do want to go over to the portion of the broadcast called Pass the Salt. Wow, this was like a really emotionally charged episode. I'm hoping that everybody's enjoying it. Yes, it does pull out the heartstrings, but this is amazing. Thank you, panel. Mr. Thomas Bonnick, if you would share something honest in 140 characters or less so we can tweet this out.
Well, hopefully this one is staying on topic. It goes like this. Be a kind, respectable educator and practice what you preach.
That's right. Don't just stand on the soapbox. Do some things yourself. That's Brittany Charmantine. What do you got for us?
Okay. It takes twice as much energy to be cruel as it does to be kind. So conserve energy and make someone's day.
I love that. That's so great. It's like a PSA connected to like a green initiative.
I know.
It's awesome. I love it.
This is like the original message being translated, that telephone one,
Exactly. Jennifer, what do you got?
Oh, I don't think I counted mine, but mine is basically don't get upset about salty language. Look at the rating of the story you're reading, and if you're offended by bad words, don't read R-rated stories.
Yeah. Kids, go to bed. You're too young for the Wattpad retirement home where they read really steamy, trashy erotica and penthouse letters and all that other crazy stuff.
We're too old for that.
There's like a bunch of blue pills just like hovering around the Wattpad retirement home, my guys.
Right.
Oh, Miss Sarah Benson. I'm just a little bitter. I'm sorry. I wasn't invited to the party.
You're too young.
All right, this is my advice to any out there who are still nervous to try, or the advice I would give to myself before I started on Wattpad. Just put yourself out there. You'll never know what's possible until you try.
That's true. You gotta make the attempt, people. You gotta, you can't win if you don't play. I do want to kind of tie all this. I mean, these were incredible stories, and thank you again for sharing them, everyone. We're at, the tail end of a broadcast. It's called Check, Please. We really hope that you've enjoyed every single thing on this. I want to let everybody know that Miss Amanda Lai has to join the discussion. She's our kind of a right-hand woman in Wattpad HQ. She does a lot of really cool stuff for us, and she's been asking everybody questions on it, how she can help out with, you know, just pretty much everything. I mean, she's just really, really awesome. Thanks, Amanda, for tuning in live, and you know, Rita's over here talking about tissues and everything like that. And I mean, it's pretty awesome. Issa, hey, how are you doing? I'm sorry if I missed you guys. I'm trying to just kind of, you know, scroll through this, but we really do appreciate you tuning in live and conversing and hopefully making some really great friends and picking up some more books to put on your reading lists. I do want to also reiterate the fact that people that are on the panel of the Corner Booth, our panelists have been selected to be part of something called the Wattpad Block Party, and you can actually use that as a hashtag, no spaces, and find what Kelly Ann Blount is doing for the entire month of July. It's been an amazing process so far, an amazing event. It's picked up just a lot of traction right out of the gates, and it's just because Kelly has put in the legwork. If you are kind of, you know, entering the raffles that are available, because there are over 100 prizes that you can win, and a lot of it is internationally acceptable as well. It's not just domestic in the United States or, you know, Northern America for that matter. A lot of these prizes, they do go out worldwide. So we hope that you're enjoying it. We hope that you're getting a lot out of it. I had a submission this last Friday. I want to thank everybody who has responded to it. I am going to respond to every single one of them. It's just been a kind of a rough week. There's some personal things going on, and I'm pulling through it. But I mean, your comments, every single thing that you guys responded to, I mean, that was kind of the backbone of this episode, at least for me, in the sense that, I mean, this week was really hard for me, but reading that, I mean, that pulled me to a different level. It got me to see that, hey, maybe I'm doing something that that I'm good at. I don't know, but it was amazing to read, and it was amazing to receive those kind of just really spoiling compliments, and I appreciate every single one of them. And you guys make my world turn, so thank you so much for doing that for me. I know that Thomas and is probably the next to be. You're on the 11th?
The 11th, Saturday. This Saturday coming, yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, look out for that. Sarah, Brittany, they're going to be coming at you. Kelly has all of the upcoming people. I know that she has stuff that she blasts out on Twitter, Facebook, I believe, as well, and then, of course, Wattpad itself. And if you haven't checked it out, it's just a lot of really, really cool excerpts and short stories and things like that, and character interviews, and just it's getting these Wattpadders to really, really flex their creativity in the most wonderful way possible. So thank you again, Kelly, for including the Corner Booth in that. We are going to do something special for you later this month. We're planning it out right now. And I do also want to let everybody know about this little challenge called Just Write It. And it is a challenge to write 10,000 words in 30 days every single Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern. The Wattpad 4 gets together and they talk about all things writing, and they're going to help you out crafting your stories and just doing everything and anything possible to make them just really, really wonderful pieces of work. I do want to kind of, you know, go over the fact that, oh, wow, yeah, we just finished episode 16. We have about 20 drafted right now. The season 1 is going to go on for 25 episodes before we take a little bit of a break, and it's just so I don't go crazy. But it's we'll definitely come back, hopefully. I got to kind of get the green light from Wattpad. If they're enjoying this and they're liking what we're doing, then we're going to definitely do a second season of this. And the panel, they have been unbelievable. Just all the work they put into their answers, and you know, working with me as far as me getting information to them when I try to get it out and then I don't for some reason, hit a road bump, whatever it is. But I do, I kind of want to, like I said, we've done this a couple episodes now, but I kind of want to ask this panel, we got about 5 minutes left, just kind of share, you know, a couple, maybe 2 sentences about, you know, what the Corner Booth is doing for you currently or in the past, or what you see it doing for you in the future. I'm just going to kind of roll down the panel with Thomas and end at Brittany.
Oh, well, the relationships, that's very important to me. I found some great relationships over the last few months since I've been on it. Everyone that I'm looking at here, and those who are not, you'll come on. It's only 4 of us at a time, right? But everyone that's involved in this show, I found a great connection between you all, and it helps to get my work out there too. I know that that's not what we're here for, but that is one benefit. Like it or not, or it's just the way it is, right? So there is a benefit, and that is the benefit also, and I do benefit from that myself. So that's what it does for me.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Miss Sarah.
Yeah, I'm with Thomas. I think more than anything, the first episode I saw when Nat invited me to do this, I just instantly sensed that there was something very special about this show, about the type of people that he was drawing to it, and I wanted to be a part of something like that. I mean, I'm at the stage of my life, I'm quite busy, but I want to do cool things with cool people. And I have found that, certainly, with the Corner Booth. Not only with the panelists, but I have made so many friends on Twitter. In particular, I had a very difficult time integrating to Twitter. I was a Twitter-phobe at first for a long time. And like Facebook, I had been making connections for a long time, but I couldn't connect very well on Twitter. And I think the Corner Booth, more than anything, has opened up my friendships there and allowed me to make a lot of great connections outside of the Wattpad community as well. And then I just love it when someone starts reading my story and tells me they found me from the Corner Booth, and it just makes my day. It's so fun.
That's awesome. Miss Jennifer Corman, you survived your second episode. How you doing?
I know. You this has done a lot of things for me. For one thing, it I don't know. I resisted, as you know, Nat, because I have like camera being on YouTube issues. I told you I'd hide in my house, I think, if I could. But what I really found from this is I enjoy being part of the conversation with people who really become like friends, and when the conversation ends, it's sad. It really, I learn from what everybody else says, and it feels good to put a face to the names, and it makes Wattpad feel even more like a community of friends and family, and that's really what you want when you're writing and learning, and it's really a privilege to be part of. So thank you for convincing me. I don't think anybody but you could have done that, Nat. So thanks.
Jennifer, come on, you can do this.
It took you a while, but I know. I got cold feet.
It was kind of like pulling teeth, but it was totally worth it. We love having you here, Jennifer.
I know.
Brittany, will you round us out?
Sure, I'll try. Okay, so it's pretty much what everybody has said. It's the connections with all of you. I learn something from you guys every single week. It's a lot of it are the people who speak out on our forum, on the thread on Wattpad, and the people who are part of the live chat. I just really enjoy all of those people. They're amazing. So I don't know why, but we seem to be drawing this incredible audience, these people that are so smart, so wise. I'm in awe of you guys. And the last thing I've gotten out of it is I've learned that you should not wear shiny cosmetics when you are on camera. So that's huge.
That's true. We should I don't know, have like our own like Wattpad Corner Booth makeup plan or something like that. That would be pretty awesome, right?
I want to know who you're using, because you always look beautiful.
Oh no! I cheat. I use dim lighting. That's the secret, people. It's all about lighting. If you have any sort of theater background, you know for a fact that lighting is actually a painter's kind of mentality. So yes, theater nerds out there, I'm with you. I do want to let everybody know that we are right at the tail end of the broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week, we are bringing up a Wattpadder known as @CFunk3. We're really, really excited about that. Her name is Millie Eckert. She's amazing. She's been watching this live broadcast. And we're all going to talk to you all about fundamentals and putting the fun in fundamentals. And yes, we're talking about mechanics. We're talking about grammar. We're talking about, making a story readable, and why that's important. And we're going to hash that out all for you next week. We have had so much fun. We've actually shed a few tears here and there, but it's all been in the name of great writing and just a really, really wonderful website that we call Wattpad. So thank you so much, Wattpad Nation. We are going to have to say goodnight to you from here, but we'll see you next week, same time, same great channel. Panel, you'd say goodnight.
Good night, everyone.
night.
Good night, everyone.